Hello, I'm Corinne. I'm a Feng Shui consultant, and today I want to talk about why some Feng Shui experts diss the Bagua map. So, in order to explain why some Feng Shui experts don't like the Bagua map, I'd have to explain where they're coming from. So, there are many schools of Feng Shui. The first one, the oldest one, is the Form School. The Form School of Feng Shui bases the energy reading of the home on the landscape, the landforms of the exterior environment and how it affects your internal environment. That's the Form School. And then another version of Feng Shui is the Compass School, and that one incorporates flying stars and 8 mansions. And what that school of Feng Shui is, they're basing their reading on the direction your home faces, the orientation of your home, north, south, east, west, and everywhere in between, as well as dates, the date that your home was finished building, or if you've done renovations to more than a third of your home, then you would change that date to when those renovations were finished. So also that includes birthdays of the people living in the home. That's the Compass School, which incorporates the flying star and the 8 mansions teachings of Feng Shui. So when you're talking about Compass School in particularly, that is a reading of numbers that they come up with, and each number represents an element and a color. And so what happens if you are using that version of Feng Shui is it kind of negates the basic Feng Shui map that you're using, the basic 9 square one that I've shown in previous videos. The reason why I do use that version of the Feng Shui map is because it is a beginner level of understanding of Feng Shui. It is still a tool. It is still helpful. It's still something that you can use to make a better, healthier environment for yourself and for your family. So I'm a martial arts instructor, and I would equate it to levels of martial arts and also styles of martial arts. So there are many styles of martial arts based on where they were created and why they were created. Martial arts is also a form of physics. Feng Shui is metaphysics. It's about energy. It's a study of energy. And so when you're talking about different Feng Shui tools, you're talking about different levels of interpreting energy. So there are actually many forms of the Bagua map, and this basic 9 square image that I use is the most simplified version of the Bagua map. So there are definitely more complicated versions of the Bagua map, as well as different tools that Feng Shui masters use. So the Chinese compass that Feng Shui masters use is very intricate, very difficult to read unless you've studied. So, if you are on my channel, chances are you're just learning Feng Shui. Chances are you are a DIYer and you're trying to create a better energetic environment for your family and for yourself in your home. And you want some basic tools. So that's what this is. That's what the Bagua map is. It's a basic tool for, say, white, yellow, orange belt Feng Shui practitioners. So if you are a red belt or a black belt in Feng Shui, then this is probably not your channel, because that's not what I'm trying to do here. What I'm trying to do is reach out to people who want to learn how to create a better energy for their home. So I've covered the two older versions of Feng Shui, which is the Form school version and the compass version, which incorporates, again, flying star and 8 mansions. But the latest version, the first version to come to the US that was actually created for the West, is what's called the Black Hat version. And it was created for the West because it is a simplified version of Feng Shui. And that's why this tool is very helpful. So if you hear a Feng Shui expert, dissing or putting down this Bagua map, they're coming from a different level of understanding of Feng Shui. But when you discourage somebody who's trying to learn Feng Shui at a white belt level, it's like discouraging that white belt. And then what happens is they just quit and they're like, I'm done. I don't want any part of this. It's too hard. And then they leave. That's not what I want to do here. What I want to do is I want to teach you how to use these principles. And actually that's what the Black Hat version does, is it's inspiring you to use your intuition in your home. It's giving you a very basic guideline to incorporate in your home. But with Feng Shui, there are many principles that all Feng Shui practitioners do use. And those principles are doors and windows are where the energy comes in and exits your home. The front door, which would be the door that you use the most, is the mouth of Qi. And that's where the main energy comes in your home. And that is probably the most important door in your home. So you want to keep that area clean, clutter-free, and welcoming. That is very important. They also agree that clutter is the enemy of positive energy. Clutter, filth, mess, anything that is going to create negativity in your home, whether that's stress or distraction or smell, it could be smell, anything that creates that negative energy in your home, all Feng Shui practitioners will say that is your biggest enemy. So definitely get rid of your clutter. Definitely stay on top of your house cleaning. So those are two things that they agree on. And so this Black Hat version of Feng Shui is just, again, it's just a tool. When I do Feng Shui in my house, I use all versions because I really just want to zoom in on every aspect of Feng Shui because I want the best energy for my home. And it's fascinating to me. I find this very interesting. So if you're the type of person that wants to do your own research into the more in-depth versions of Feng Shui, I recommend A Master Course in Feng Shui by Eva Wong. This is an excellent book. I've read this, worked on it so many times that my pages are literally falling out. She has practice tests in here, and you can test yourself and see how you're doing in this. This is your compass version. This is the one that talks about the orientation of your home, and you get to do the geomantic chart reading on your house. So I recommend this if you want to do an in-depth study. This is not an easy read. This is a lot of work and it's a lot of time, and it's not a one-time read either. This is something you'd want to reread and reread and reread. And then if you can get this down, then you want to go even more in depth. The I Ching, which is the Book of Changes. This is the original Bible, so to speak, of Feng Shui, and where this concept of Feng Shui comes from. And this is a Princeton University Press book, and it is written by Wilhelm Baines. And but going back to the Black Hat version, which is the easiest version to share in a 5-minute video on YouTube, I don't want to discourage you from using that because, again, it is a tool. It will help. It is not the most in-depth and effective version of Feng Shui. But if you want that, hire a professional or do the work, do the studying, because, that's not something that you can really just guess on. These are basic tools. This is a basic level of understanding of Feng Shui, and it does help. You do need this in your toolbox, no matter how much you know about Feng Shui. So again, I hope this video helps you. I would love to hear your comments, your questions, your thoughts on this subject. Let me know, and I hope it encourages you to study Feng Shui, to practice Feng Shui, to apply these principles to your home. If you like this video, hit the like button, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you next time.